경기장 도시형.
Alright guys, here we are on Shattered Temple and down at the bottom of the map trying to tie things up for Team Empire. It is Aristeo. And at the 9 o'clock position in the red, winning 2 games already in this IPL Team Arena Challenge 2 match. It is none other than Complexity MVP Minigun.
All right, so Minigun actually doing what his Korean Terran counterpart from MVP could not, and taking games from Empire thus far, looking very strong in the process. And like you said, Aristeo picked this map. This is not usually something that he or a certain player is going to want to do, but maybe he's got a good read on what his opponent's strategy is. But I'm very interested, as well as you, to see what he's going to do in this game. Yeah,
I mean, I almost feel like he's got some sort of all-in plan. I mean, off 2 bases, just because if Minigun decides to Forge Expand on this map, it's not the best map for Forge Expanding sometimes. So that's something that Aristeo could possibly take advantage of. It looks like he is planning on doing just that as well. But I don't know. I mean, this is a map where it's really difficult for Zerg to take a third sometimes. So you don't see a lot of Zergs picking it. So yeah, I'm very, very curious to see what he decides to do. Going for that gas first here. So it is going to be 14 gas and then probably 14 pool as well from Aristeo. So he's going to be getting that Zergling speed up pretty quickly at least.
Yeah, 13 pool as a matter of fact.
Okay,
and,
all right.
I think your inclination is right. We already saw Minigun with his pylon on the low ground now, and he is saving up quite a bit of resources right now. So quick pressure could be deadly, and your point about the not being able to easily take a third as a Zerg player is spot on. You'll see a lot of Zerg players, they sit on 2 base for quite a while, and then they'll usually take the gold and the bottom right hand corner at the exact same time as well.
Yeah, you have to wait for that time where you're kind of safe. Usually after you hold off the first push, you're able to get in there and build some more hatcheries. And Minigun, I'm sure he's aware of all this too. I mean, he's got to be wondering a little bit. He's like, all right, why did you pick this map? It's not a terrible map for Zerg, but it's not one that a lot of Zergs would pick. So Minigun's got to be wondering a little bit about that as well. Although that didn't stop him from going Nexus first.
Yeah, wow. That's bold.
Yep, still playing it bold and bravely.
Yeah, because we've already got 4 Zerglings and speeds on the way at the same time as well. So pulled himself off of gas so we can get another hatch up here in a bit. Just 4 lings are now droning up afterwards, so not just going to continue to pump out endless amounts of lings. Of course, that Forge just finishing up, cannon on the way, but now it's got 35 seconds before it hits, and those Zerglings are already trudging across the map.
Yeah, might have to worry a little bit about that, but should be able to hold it off without too much trouble just with the probes that he has. If he wins 3 games in a row in this match, just start calling him Big Gun. He's not Minigun anymore, man.
Oh, wow. He's actually creating quite the walled front there. He's just going to keep putting pylons down and then engage these Zerglings on a little front, pull back to the Photon Cannon. Is he able to hold position on the ramp? He is, and he's within position of the Photon Cannon. He did lose 3 workers altogether.
All right. Yep, so it could have been worse, but, when you have to when you go Nexus first, it's kind of the risk you take. And now he's going to be able to Chrono Boost out 2 probes at a time, so he'll have no trouble at all catching back up whatever workers he's lost right now.
And pylon's going to fall, but it served its purpose. It was nice and annoying, and Aristeo puts down that hatchery at the 5-minute mark. So good and delayed there. 6 more lings making their way out, in addition to the 6 already on the field, as a matter of fact. So, and there's 4 more, so looks like Aristeo just wants to get in and do some pressure.
Yeah, I mean, if I were Minigun, I would be really suspicious about that. You can see he knows. He put down that second cannon. He's putting a little bit more into this wall because he's like, that's a lot of Zerglings that you're making. I am really kind of wondering what you're planning here. And yeah, he's at least planning on kind of occupying the mineral line. Oh, he's going to get into the main. Whoa.
That's a disaster for Minigun now because he has to pull everything off of the line, and he's probably going to lose his Nexus.
Yeah, this is a situation where you just lose your Nexus, and then you're suddenly sitting at your natural. You have to kind of hope that you can re-expand your main. And
hope is a good course of action now for Minigun.
Very awkward situation. And I wonder if we're going to see Aristeo do something like Baneling bust off of this or go for some sort of Roachling all-in after he weakens his opponent. Because, yeah, as you can see, it goes to Nexus.
Bye-bye. So it goes down. There are 2 Photon Cannons up now, along with a Zealot up the front. And of course, the Zerglings are going to have to go through a small choke point there, so they'll take some losses. But I mean, the Nexus going down is entirely worth it. Now Minigun is set considerably farther behind his opponents, so this is not a good situation for him to be in.
Yeah. and he's going to have to play really careful to kind of hold this off here. I think we're kind of seeing Aristeo's plan here. He realizes that with that neutral supply depot there, you can actually get around the outside with enough lings and run into the main. And I think he was expecting Minigun to do exactly what he did. Yeah, there's the Lair now and the Roach Warren. Okay, so probably going to see some Roaches and upgrades. I was wondering if maybe we're going to see Mutalisks, but nope. Sure. It's going to be Roaches and upgrades, it looks like.
Indeed. And second and third gate finally coming up because Minigun just needs anything to hold this front wall. And even if you take some losses with Lings, just the fact that they're going to be back here once he pushes with Roaches and being able to soften up a couple of these buildings is going to be pretty big, actually, for Aristeo.
Right. All right, so Minigun is up to 3 gateways now. And I believe, yep, 3 gateways, plus 1 on the way.
Yep.
But it's pretty tough to tech off of just 1 base, so we're going to have to see him send some Zealots up there to try to clear the Lings out, and that's what he's trying to do right now.
Yep, sorry. And, yep, so he sends a couple up, pushes them away for a little bit, making sure there's not any Banelings sitting up there or anything like that.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, those Lings just sitting there, but we have Hydralisk Den now on the way off of that layer. 1 Roach, 2 Roaches coming up along with the Roach speed upgrade.
Yeah, Hydra Den, I mean, that's something too. Oh, wow, those Zealots are even going to get taken out by the Zerglings. Minigun, nothing going his way today.
No, not at all.
Oh,
lose that sentry. No, it looks like the Zerglings are going to pull away at the moment. Don't want to be pulled down to the Photon Cannon.
Yep, so the reason that Aristeo is going Hydralisks here is because once he gets the range upgrade, he can just basically walk right up to the edge of Minigun's base and just kill everything.
Yeah.
And Minigun, oh, interesting, putting a cannon down on the front of his mineral line there.
And let's see here. Is
it's
that
actually
one
a good idea.
The middle? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So now he's moving over with a couple more gateway units. He will eventually be able to drive away these Lings, but of course he's been sitting on 1 base virtually the entire game because he wasn't able to use the natural until the Zerglings came back in and threatened the main. So he's basically been on 1 base now for 10 minutes.
Yep, a little bit too late, I think, to catch up for Minigun, but the game's not over yet. Maybe he'll pull some sort of miracle here, but he is down by about half the supply of Aristeo. And, oh, he's actually just going to Hydralisk drop, it looks like. Getting Overlord speed and drops right now we see on the production queue.
Yep, Ventral Sacs and Nubatized Carapace coming up at the same time. It looks like Aristeo going after his 3rd base as well, so playing nice and safe, pressing his advantage. And he's going to have a pretty powerful attack coming his opponent's way in just a bit.
Yeah, this is the type of situation, too, where you see Zergs go for, like, Nidus Worms as well, you know, just Nidus everything into the old main and then just attack from the high ground. You just have so many options when you're Zerg in this situation. You just feel great. It feels wonderful.
It's so good.
Feels like a nice massage on a sunny day outside on the beach.
I would not have made that comparison.
There you go.
I don't know what kind of massages you have on the beach, but...
Like shoulders, you know? I mean, you play a lot of StarCraft 2, man, your shoulders get sore.
Yeah, that's true.
And get your shoulders massaged. What better place to have that happen than the beach, right?
I like it. I like it.
Simple.
Dark Shrine coming up now for Minigun, which I also like, but feels very much like a catch-up maneuver.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of what a lot of Protoss players get forced into if they're on their back foot like this. If things get really, really bad, make DTs, cross your fingers.
Pray, yes. That's kind of what happens. It looks like Ventral Sacs is just about to finish up, though, and he will be able to make a big drop here inside of the main and move along the top with these units here as well.
Yeah. Identifying that Minigun's probably going to want to try to break into his side of that to try to take a 3rd a little bit quicker.
Yeah. I mean, a Minigun, I mean, good on him for staying in this right now. Obviously, we see from the caster perspective that he is quite far behind at the moment. But you know, he's trying his best to stay in there, win a big engagement, and start trying to make his way back into things.
Yeah, you got to try, yep.
Of course.
And did he actually break down those rocks? I thought I saw him do that.
Yeah,
oh,
yes.
Okay, he did. All right. So, yeah, he's going to hit the natural and the main at the same time. That's going to be really, really tough for Minigun to deal with.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to have a 3-pronged attack here. Pin these units down, drop at the same time, and move through the top. So here comes the unit into the main. Not sure what Minigun is going to be able to do about this. A couple of Overseers being morphed in at the same time, but he's still more occupied with the units at the top. He is just going to GG, and Empire has taken back the game, evening up the set 2-2.
Smart moves from Aristeo, really kind of taking advantage of the map layout.